I don't like the NCAA, to be perfectly honest with you.
Okay.
Same.
It looks like we're on the air.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand not liking the NCAA, but I like college sports, so we don't really have alternatives.
Right, of course.
That's
just
the problem.
Right. You know what the worst part is? I was at Walmart today getting some food to bring home. I didn't get myself dessert. That was a dumb move. Not a very good call.
You blew it.
What do you usually get for dessert?
Well, I mean, it just depends on the mood. I mean, like today I would have probably gotten ice cream. Like some Nutty Buddies or something.
Hold the phone, guys.
I'm holding my dick.
Nutty Buddies?
Holding my Nutty Buddies.
Oh, yeah.
Yankum likes it when I hold my Nutty Buddies. Congratulations to
Their elections are in the first week of August?
Apparently.
I guess so.
He did it.
I guess he's got a leg to stand on.
Oh.
Oh, God damn it.
Like I said, so many freaking things happened today.
Ooh, I wonder if I'm going to get killed today.
Well, if they is dead, I got a replacement for him.
You can't replace me.
Crazy, dude.
Well, not yet. I mean, give her 18 years and let her watch wrestling.
You know, Kane is someone who could conceivably have a pretty decent political career. He's a very well-spoken dude. He's got that celebrity that people love now for some reason.
He's a libertarian, but not the crazy kind of libertarian.
Yeah, he's more like what an actual libertarian is supposed to be.
Yeah, he's not Joel Stein.
She's Green
What?
Party.
Yeah, she's Green
Oh,
Party.
she's Green Party. Who was the one
Wrong
running
thing.
last year?
Gary Johnson.
Gary
Oh.
Johnson.
That fucking crazy man. I don't want
It's
to.
He's just insane.
Johnson
he's
wasn't
fucking-
that bad.
Oh,
Apparently, you're not that familiar with the Libertarian Party because let me tell you who one of the
not
other.
anymore. It's been a few years.
They had John McAfee up there as well.
Who is it not?
Oh,
way.
the man is fucking insane. And also Daryl W. Perry, who compared having to have a license to drive a car with having to have a license to put toast in a toaster.
Yeah, if you're in the UK.
Yeah.
That's pretty stupid. That's pretty damn dumb.
The format appears to be read only.
Read
Goddamn
only.
Yankum.
Someone better read it then.
Boy.
Did you guys hear about the dude in England
Fixed.
who got pulled over in a truck and he had like trash from, because he's a trucker. You know, they eat food and then they throw in a little trash in their truck. He got a ticket because he didn't have a license to transport rubbish.
Yeah.
Literally
lot
got
of
a
rubbish.
ticket. He did not have his rubbish license, mate. Boy.
You
Yeah.
have to pay a fucking tax to drive through London because of the smog you create.
That's not outside of the norm, though. I'm sure there are cities in the Bay Area that
Yeah,
have
that's
something like
that's
that.
completely normal. It's just like all UK laws are so weird with all the fucking licensing that you need for all sorts of shit. That seems normal to Americans to like not have to
Well-
need a license to do that.
I wouldn't care as much if their shit didn't fuck up our shit. Like, do you know why there's a limit on how much how how much video your DSLR camera can record. You can only record, like, I think it's 20 minutes at a time, because any amount of time over that, according to EU regulations, means that you have to pay a higher import tax on it.
Oh, okay. So I guess it's good news. The EU is dying very slowly and painfully now.
Slowly, not so good, but... Or maybe it was 6 minutes. Let me look that up, because I don't want to give inaccurate information.
Well, I mean, companies that do international business have to kind of build products around those laws anyway. So there are plenty of examples that go every way.
It's
I'm sure there are U.S. regulations that force other countries to change their products around.
It's 30 minutes.
Does that have something to do with anti-piracy too?
I think so.
Maybe, but I mean, that's
I would
fucking
believe it.
stupid.
I either just stunned the shit out of a fly or killed it.
I still think the most ridiculous one is needing to be 18 to buy silverware.
What?
That one's pretty good.
Like, it's so goofy because A, why would someone under the age of 18 buy silverware? Probably wouldn't. But B, like, who gives a shit if they do?
Because they don't want more stabbings to happen, but people can just sharpen a fucking toothbrush.
Yeah, exactly.
Or, I don't know, throw some uriatic acid in people's faces.
They got other problems to deal with. Everybody's got problems, man. World's a spinning ball of chaos. Thank God Kane's gonna save us.
Yeah.
Kane
He's got
2020.
that big, strong chin, too. People love that shit.
But his chin is not stronger than Antonio Inoki's.
No, that's true.
No one's is.
But unfortunately, Antonio Inoki cannot become president of the United States.
Actually, Kane can't either.
Yes, he can.
Really?
No, he was born in Spain.
He was born in Spain on U.S. soil.
Was he?
If he was born on a military base, it counts as U.S. soil.
Yeah,
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Like
actually,
wasn't one of the presidential candidates Canadian, but he was actually born on so I had some fucking stupid bullshit.
Ted Cruz.
Ugh,
Yeah.
That asshole.
I don't care anymore now.
Yeah.
I don't want to remember the details of that one.
I have a buddy who was born in Canada, and then they drove him home 3 days later, and then they signed the birth certificate in America through a hospital. And so technically he's an American citizen born in America. But he was born in Canada.
Sounds like his ass needs to get the fuck out of my country.
Seriously, I'd definitely rather have the Mexicans than the Canadians any day.
The
I'm sure
Canadians
that-
would rather just have neither of us.
I'm sure that probably actually happens quite a bit. The born in Canada, and then especially back in the day, because that border was an invisible line, basically.
Well, it's marked out, but people would just drive back
Yeah.
and forth, and there was like no customs or
There
anything stopping people.
There was literally no border patrol, like, especially when you start getting into North Dakota and Montana and shit. Like, there was nothing.
Oh yeah, that's how all the good weed got down here from British Columbia.
Exactly.
Now, it's not like that at all, though, because tourists.
Goddamn Canadians bringing their no-cup having asses down here.
No, it's not like that anymore because Colorado and Washington.
No. I don't mean the bringing the weed. I mean being able to get
Okay.
across that
Never
border, because now you'll get fucking butt searched, even driving across with all your paperwork in order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's wasn't one of the old ROH stories was they had a pay-per-view in Toronto. Cornette was telling us in one of his shoots. They had a pay-per-view in Toronto, and they'd hired this company to do the live stream that was really good, but they were an American company, and they got to the border, and they didn't have any like visas or anything, and they just turned around. And so they had to like throw together a production thing, and it turned to shit like most of what he did in ROH.
Hey guys, does anybody have a button question?
No.
I have one. Why does NetJester continue to push mine?
Because you like it like that. You like it when he sticks his fingers in there.
You dirty bitch.
No.
Yes.
Those big fat fucking sausage fingers on that giant son of a bitch.
Yeah, I've got a button question. I just thought of one.
You got one?
Text.
Alright.
It has nothing to do with sausage or sausage finger.
You're good,
Or
Omega.
We probably have enough to start if you want.
I'm trying to think of a 15-minute time limit. We can just talk G1.
We did cover Extreme Rules, didn't we?
Yeah, we can talk G1.
We didn't because it was last week, right? We could
Was it
talk about
last week?
both. We could talk about both G1 and Extreme Rules.
Oh Lord, can we just talk about G1? I didn't even
No,
watch
because
G1,
Extreme
but I
Rules
would
was
rather watch
storyline
G1.
bad.
We already did we already did Extreme Rules stuff.
Did we?
Yes.
We could
Alright,
talk
maybe I'm
about
just-
Evolution.
How about no?
Evolution is a
We could spend 15 minutes talking about how Alicia Fox won a match on Monday Night Raw.
We can talk for 15 minutes about how they think Ronda Rousey versus Alicia Fox is a fucking draw of any kind.
Hey.
I'm
You better not be
cackled.
shitting on
I
my
think
fucking
we
Foxy.
did. I think we did
That's
do
great.
Extreme Rules because it was 2 weeks ago.
Yep. We did it.
Yeah, we already did Extreme
Oh,
Rules.
thank God.
Alicia Fox is the female R-Truth of WWE.
Yes.
No, our truth
I
is
was-
entertaining.
Well,
Well,
hold on.
up until
our
last
Truth is the
week-
female. Our Truth is the female version of our Truth. In the
Up until she won that match on Monday, she was the fucking female JTG of WWE.
Yeah.
Yo.
Hey, remember when Alicia Fox was the captain of Team Raw at Survivor Series for some reason?
Yeah.
Hey, remember when Alicia Fox used to have a match on Raw almost like every fucking week?
Remember when she
Remember
was
when-
Diva Champ?
I was gonna say, remember when she was a champion?
And
Yeah.
they never say anything about her ever being a
No.
champion?
She's fucking
That's-
buried. I don't know what she did. It had to have been awful. You think
If
she
it
like?
was awful, they would have just fired her. She's just there. It's probably
Okay.
just one of those creative has nothing for you thing.
Well,
Plus, everyone else around her got a lot better.
he badmouthed Rousey's husband at WrestleMania.
Oh yeah, that asshole.
Hey guys, if you're familiar with the fighter Sage Northcutt, he's had some really disturbing tweets come out. You guys got to see
Oh
this.
no.
Can we just start this goddamn thing?
Oh yeah.
Terrible, horrible, awful tweets.
Oh,
talk-
that reminds me. GBO is live streaming right now.
And no one cares.
And hit the music. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the SmarkSnark podcast. My name is Gunner. This is episode number 313, and over there is my co-host, Mega BR.
Had a nice time meeting all the wrestlers this past weekend, including the world's smallest woman, who is not a wrestler, but she moves about as well as half the women's roster. So,
the world's smallest woman? Like, wasn't that? Isn't she Indian? I think I've seen her before. Ah, I have seen her before. Also joining us this week is our resident technical producer, Mr. Ones and Twos over there, Yankum DDS. I heard there was some sort of celebration that just happened right before we went live on the air that Yankum is currently enjoying. A certain favorite wrestler of his.
Oh, yeah. Fucking Kane. It's fucking mayor. He's going to save the world. Kane, 2020. Glenn Jacobs, 2020 for president. Oust Donald Trump out of there. Let's get some real hope, some real change.
As long as the White House becomes the Red House, and Slow Chemical can fucking play every single time instead of the presidential fucking game.
A literal demon would be better than the government we currently have.
From hellfire and brimstone.
Just keep motherfucking whatchamacallit, Finger 11 on fucking retainer. Just have them play whenever he comes out anywhere.
Instead of Hail to the Chief.
Yes! It'd be great. Netchester's here.
Hi, everybody. How you doing? I got some special news, but I'll wait for that for the end.
Okay, cool. Vassar's here.
Hello.
Shao Kahn's around.
Yes, and on my TV, what better way to commemorate football Hall of Famers than making them watch the Bears play? Yay.
Not even the Bears. Third string Bears. Save us, dog.
There's no saving us now.
Jeff Garcia somewhere is wanting to suit up and play.
I'd love to see Jeff Garcia come back. That'd be awesome. I'm all for it. He deserves he doesn't deserve all things. I can't even finish that with straight face.
Oh, you know who wants to make a comeback? Did you guys hear about this? Frickin' T.O. He wants to make a comeback and play football.
Who?
Isn't he like fucking... He's old now, isn't he?
He's old.
Not like old as a person, but like old for football.
Terrell Owens?
Yes, Terrell
Yes.
Owens.
No.
It's so funny. Oh, poor Terrell Owens. Completely out of money.
And maybe he can come to Buffalo again and do absolutely nothing.
Like he did before. Yes. So, let's do the news, because that's everybody here. Kane has been elected mayor of Knox County. New Japan doctors believe Hiromu Takahashi broke his neck. He'll return in 9 to 12 months. Kenny Omega has been working through G1 with a heel fracture. I've heard, according to Kenny, it's not that severe, but it is something to be worried about. Hopefully, he will heal-ish.
Mm.
No other comments? Nobody wants to talk about this.
Hiromu is lucky he can walk.
Yes.
Kenny's too injured. He can drop the title. Give it to Minoru Suzuki.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. No.
That's definitely not going to happen.
Do it, you cowards.
He can have the IC belt again. Sure.
Really, beyond anything else, man, Hiromu is very lucky at this diagnosis. Even though it is a full year, it's probably needed, and he needs to tone his style down somewhat. I know he's not going to, but he really, really needs to. Like, every time I watch him and Dragon Lee have a match, I just think, you're going to kill each other. Like, you're both going to be dead.
Yep. Oh well, All Japan has a better heavyweight champion now, as Zeus has won the fucking heavyweight title.
Oh, do I even want to know? Oh god. All right. Moving on. Ring Warriors is set to debut on WGN America Saturdays at 8 a.m. Can someone please inform me what Ring Warriors is?
I don't know. I've never heard of it.
Hold on, I'm Googling.
WGN America. Didn't like Superstars used to be on that?
I thought it was.
That is correct.
It is an independent wrestling promotion based in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
That's weird that a Florida indie is going to be on WGN. When I think WGN, I think Chicago.
It was part of the NWA, but separated in 2012.
Okay, so what significance does it have?
All three of its championships are currently vacant.
Okay, so I got a news article here. Founded
By the way,
Hiro Matsuda.
Can I just say that
Yeah.
this promotion got a TV time slot on a network in America, and Impact could not.
Because Impact is bad.
Now it's not. Now it's really good.
Too late, bro.
I know.
You know, they've got the crop of journeymen who are kind of not really tied down right now. Austin Aries, you know, Wes Briscoe, Santana Garrett, Luke Hawx. You know, basically everybody who's not technically associated with a brand. You know what I mean?
Right. Let's see. Who else are you going to see here? You're going to see Austin Aries, Eli Drake, Marty the Moth, Jeff Cobb, Santana Garrett, Chris Bay, Alexander Hammerstone, Luke Hawx, Alex Chamberlain, Wes Briscoe, Cassidy Riley, and Chase Stevens. There's your top promotion right there. Chase freaking Stevens. Make him champ, or this company is trash. Anyway, moving on. Speaking of other wrestling promotions that are starting up, World of Sport did 937,000 views in its debut, 8.6% of the people watching the TV in the UK at the time. Holy shit.
Holy fuck, that's crazy.
Pretty unheard of. Nobody's done numbers like that since the Attitude Era.
I'm taking a look to see about World of Sport.
It's impressive. It's impressive how World of Sport has a very hardcore fan base, and it's basically all British. Like, no one outside of Britain really talks or cares about it. But they get really good numbers.
It peaked at 1.2 million viewers.
Nice. I hope it convinces ITV to go with it full time, because it can only be good.
The opening match was Will Ospreay versus Bop.
Oh my god.
Grado's there.
I'm sure it's basically it's any notable guy that has not signed with WWE.
Pretty much. And Wade Barrett is commentating. You know how much we like Goodnight Moon.
Do we?
Fuck yeah.
Commissioner. The authority figure.
Yes.
All right, I had to take out the trash. What news bit are we on right now?
We're on World of Sport. But,
boy. Hey, wait a minute, Income's still here.
The Rock wants to wrestle at WrestleMania, possibly a match against Ramen Noodle.
this match?
Probably that match.
Listen, The Rock just wants to go back to his old days of being a bad guy, being a heel, and having the crowd boo the shit out of him.
Except that he can't. No, they're not going to boo The Rock.
Yes, they are.
Not against
Yes,
Roman
they are.
Reigns.
A
Not
crowd
against
at WrestleMania
Against Roman
that's smart
Reigns.
enough to know what's going on. They would. They absolutely would.
Not
Because
against.
they know he's
I don't.
only there to put Roman over. They
But it's
would.
Roman Reigns. They're gonna boo him.
They're going to
gonna
boo
They're gonna boo
Roman.
them both. They're gonna boo both of them. They're gonna boo that match out of the fucking building.
I'm taking odds right now, by the way. WrestleMania 34 replay of the crowd. Beach balls, shit chanting, nobody paying attention.
Well, yeah. It's Rock way past his prime versus Roman Reigns.
I mean, it's The Rock, though. Technically speaking, they should be, paying attention. But, it's WrestleMania.
I don't think Rocky's way past his prime.
Why pay attention to The Rock at WrestleMania when we can watch his great movies such as Skyscraper?
And
I
Rampage.
got high hopes. High hopes for our next news bit. Matt Riddle has canceled many indie dates, fueling rumors of his WWE run incoming.
Oh boy, another person from the Indies they're going to put in NXT for a little bit, and they're going to get called up, and they're going to have nothing for them.
Suits. Matt Riddle in a suit. That is what you're going to see.
Oh my god.
Matt Riddle in a suit. And you're going to say, bro.
But he used to be in UFC, so isn't he going to join all the fighters?
Yes, that's exactly what's
So
going
what
to
you're
happen.
So what you're saying is Vince McMahon has discovered the one and only truest form to run a promotion, Enochiism.
Oh
Correct.
my
Hell yeah!
Speaking of Enochiism, WWE is interested in Phoenix, Pentagon, Angelico, and Juice Robinson. But Juice went on the record to say, "Ain't no way in hell I'm going back."
Angelico,
Yep,
Angelico.
Raw.
Angelico, the man that nearly killed himself at Triple Mania.
Angle-ico.
Oh no, you're
WWE.
right. It is Angle.
Signing everyone they
Angelico.
can with no intent of ever using them for anything.
What a jealous ex-boyfriend of WWE.
Yo.
Yes, they are.
Yo,
Going back
they
now
just
because
need,
he's with someone better and doing better. They'll come back.
no. 205's Live Lucha Party needs Phoenix and Pentagon. You're welcome.
Oh my
Get
god.
the fuck out of here.
But-
Fuck you.
Pentagon not being on the main roster would be a fucking crime.
The things they would do to Pentagon on the main roster would be a crime.
He's
but
not
he'd
wrong.
have a hell of a run in the fucking NXT though.
He comes out on a lawnmower.
With Camacho with with Hunico on the back because Camacho's and JPW now.
The problem, who's the third Mexican then? Or is it just they're going to combine with Lucha House Party?
Sin Cara.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Only if we get him to unmask as Hunico and they come out as that badass thing that he had.
Yes.
Why do
awful?
Why do they want Phoenix and Pentagon? I'm assuming the cruiserweight division, but like they seriously haven't given up on that shit yet.
They don't want them working against them.
Yeah, they just want them there so no one else will have them.
Pretty much.
It's pretty much the same thing with Angelico. Like he's never gonna get pushed.
Oh,
Juice might get a push initially, but he knows what's going to happen to him there.
He knows what's going to happen to him. He knows what.
Yeah, he knows better.
He knows firsthand. Because remember, this guy was literally his gimmick was like a hippie protester and lost literally every match, and now he's in New Japan in the G1 and he's U.S. champion.
He was the sign guy Dudley of NXT.
Yes.
And he's over as fuck in Japan.
Okay, Big Cass's new name on the indie scene is Big Cass.
Jesus Fucking Christ.
Big CAZZ. Just add a few more Z's to it, but that's how that match is going to go every time.
Yeah, I imagine like 6 months we're not going to hear like anything about Big Cass ever again.
And it's just some show running a bunch of old legends, anyways, and old WWE talent gone indie.
Calling it now, Big Cass goes on to television.
Doing what?
Stunts.
Okay.
What?
He couldn't have done Cass with a K.
He could be. Oh God.
He couldn't have just done
Frickin-
Colin Cassidy?
That's not his real name, though.
So? Do you
So-
honestly not think they have a copyright over fucking Colin Cassidy?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Of course they do.
I really doubt that. It doesn't matter. In 6 months, him and Enzo are going to be
Damn it,
re-signed.
Omega.
Him and Enzo are going to be re-signed, and they're going to be back on the main roster. So
I highly doubt it.
Enzo don't want to go back. And I don't.
yeah, he says
think
that now, but
Big Cass to
I
come
don't
back.
know how that rap career is going to last for Enzo. So we'll see.
Probably not long.
He's not gonna fall on his on the rap career. They're gonna be put against each other in a match. I guarantee you, for a New York promotion during WrestleMania weekend, and it'll be like it'll be like upstate New York still. You know, not like it'll be one of those super indies that have like, you know, that brings in the newly freshly released WWE stars. And somehow Jerry the King Lawler is on every one of those shows.
Right. Oh, and in the end of the day, the booker is the champion.
Correct.
The only one you can trust, brother, is yourself.
Absolutely. Why else do you think all of us in Russell West who booked the show are champions, pretty much?
That's a shoot, brother. All right, let's move on. 15-minute time limit. Ring that bell. Yankum, you have one job. One job. There it is. 15-minute time limit. Let's talk about the G1, boys. So,
Yes, let's talk about the G1.
The annual New Japan tournament that determines the best wrestler in the land. 3 round robin tournament is occurring currently. I believe we're on night 13, approximately.
Bro, I have no idea. I have not been able to keep up again, which is not a huge surprise. But
yes, we are on night 13 tomorrow night, tonight, or the next show. Excuse me. The next show shall be night 14. What has been some whatchamacallits, highlights for you guys?
started off insanely hot, but these middle weeks have been somewhat weak. Not as strong. I don't think it's as strong of a G1 as last year was, but I don't think anything they could have done would have made it as good as last year's. Last year's was just lightning in a bottle. Like,
was it as good as the year before's? That's the question.
There have been some matches that were as good or better than the year before. The one that sticks out in my mind is Naito and Kota.
Naito was fantastic. Ishii and and Yano was also a fantastic match.
Man, anytime they have a match.
That's Ishii is the story to me of this tournament. Like, just
Yeah.
how consistently long he's been this fucking good is insane to think about. And it's even more insane when you think about how broken down his body is right now, and has been for years. He's still just amazing matches every single time, like classic matches. That's if you're gonna watch the whole G1, just watch every Ishii match. Like, that's all you need.
Is literally made out of stone. He's a stone pit bull.
It's crazy to think that Ishii has never been heavyweight champion.
Because he plays a good supporting role. I mean, like, he's the Tito Santana
He's never even been IC champion, which is kind of crazy for me to think.
Astonishing. Yeah, astonishing at this point because you think that he would be.
I think he's the guy that deserves the IC title push for this Wrestle Kingdom. I don't know who he would take it off of. I don't think it's going to be Jericho. I don't think he's going to hold it that long, but we'll see. If he does take it off of Jericho, though, he fucking deserves that kind of rub, you know?
So how about Tonga? Jesus Christ. His whole angle throughout this entire G1 has been really fascinating to watch, especially with the firing squad.
A lot of people are like getting all pissy about like, why are they getting DQ'd in the G1? It's like, because they don't give a shit. They're just there to cause as much destruction and chaos as possible, and it is fucking awesome.
They're doing chaos better at chaos than chaos is.
What even is chaos at this point?
Yeah, I hope this leads to something better long term, basically for Tama. But yeah, it's been interesting to watch. It's given it a different flavor for sure.
I would like to see like Tama get a singles title finally.
I think that's the idea from all of this. I wouldn't
be
surprised if you saw him with an IC belt by the end of the year.
I'm willing to bet it's either the US or the never for Tama.
The never,
also,
probably.
Another person who's really stood out to me in this tournament and just top to bottom has been great for these past few months is Jay White. He is developed so fully into his character and he fits it very well. He is his nervousness that was the debut at Wrestle Kingdom is gone. He's very comfortable in his role and he's been great.
I've been enjoying Jay White matches a lot.
Oh,
They're
me
very
too.
smooth, very fluid.
And the crowd just fucking hates him, and it's great.
Oh yeah.
Man is a heat magnet. There's no doubt about it.
I just love him giving the speech after any match really, and the crowd just fucking like when you hear a Japanese crowd boo that loud, it's like damn.
It's like that level of booing is almost like the level of booing from like 99, 2000 that Onita got in New Japan.
I mean, if you think back to Wrestle Kingdom and his return, it's pretty incredible how far he's come since that point. Because he was very shaky. There were a lot of people questioning, man, does he really deserve this kind of push? Is this character right for him? Does he deserve that spot in New Japan? And I think he's fully proven that he very much is one of the top players there. I think everybody kind of knew in the back of their minds it was going to happen, but I don't think anyone saw the blueprint of how it was going to go down. And it's been great.
Jay White is proof of how fucking good the dojo is and how good the Young Lions system is. It's like you look at him, you look at Roppongi 3K, and it's just amazing how well they are. Yet you see in WWE in their performance center, there's people who are in that performance center for like 5 years and they're still green as hell.
I think the other major storyline of G1 has been Okada midlife crisis. I don't even know what it's called. It's probably like a quarter life crisis for him.
It's so weird. It's 100% a mental breakdown of sorts. Because I mean, if you're on top for that long and then you crumble like that, like, what can you do? You're not really Rainmaker anymore. It's just weird to see him not in prime form, especially after the 2 years of prime form that we've had of him.
He's gone full just fuck my shit up, fam.
I'm sure he just misses Shake Shack. And once you get some more Shake Shack in him, he'll be fine.
I kind of take it more as like he's allowed to have a little bit more fun now because he doesn't have to carry the company on his shoulders, and he's just going balls out with it. But
Absolutely.
it's really fun to see. He's incorporated that into his ring style with goofy fake out dives and rolling around and just kind of He looks like a weight has been lifted off of his shoulders because it
Right.
literally has been.
I think he's just gone insane and he's been corrupted by the powers of Dustin. Dustin's corrupted him. Poor little Kazu.
Dustin's been injured. But yeah, it's probably enough, man. And then the other thing I've noticed this G1 is a whole lot of people wearing long red pants and a whole lot of dick shots. Feels like kind of a call out to someone who was not there.
Lots of dick shots.
A lot of dick shots. It's like you expect them from Yano, so I don't really. If Yano hits a dick shot, I mean that's basically his finish. But like everyone else too, it's very strange.
Like we were just watching Yoshihashi versus Jay White, and there was a dick shot in that.
Yeah, and Yoshihashi was wearing these red and black. It looked like Shinsuke Nakamura's pants.
One match I also really liked in this G1 was Jay White versus Minoru Suzuki. Yes. It's like Jay White just trying to like out-cheat Minoru Suzuki, and all it did was just piss him off more and just gets murdered.
Minoru Suzuki has had a renaissance, I think, in the past year. It's been fantastic to see him back.
I think some of the best matches in this G1 have been people stepping out of their element, whether it was Yano having that legitimate wrestling match basically with Ishii, or Jay White, who's pretty calm and smooth and confident, becoming a total chicken shit heel around Minoru Suzuki. And it's not like they're doing this just randomly. They're doing this against opponents who it makes sense to do. Jay White should be scared. Everyone should be scared shitless of Minoru Suzuki.
Yes, we have the Ishii Yano match. Like, it's weird. Everyone thinks it's weird that Yano is able to do that, but everyone kind of forgets that Yano is a legit wrestler.
Yeah, it shows in this particular G1 especially. You forget with all the shit matches and all the tag team things, and you just have him shrugged.
The gimmicks, yeah.
Yeah, but like once you get to the bottom of it, he could still go, just like everybody else, which is fantastic.
How about predictions, boys?
Oh god, it's so hard.
When are the finals? That's still a few weeks away. No, that's not even. It's like a week away.
Yeah, it's a week away, August 12th.
10 days.
So we got 10 days. So we got one more week, and then it's whatchamacallit, and then it's finals time. I don't know, man. I want to say that Tanahashi doesn't win A block, but is in the consideration for the rest of the run. Okada loses out in his next match. I forgot who he's going against, but Okada loses out like earlier than expected. Kenny's going on a run, but I think Kota beats him and gets to and wins B block. And hell, I know this is gonna sound really stupid, but I don't know. An Evil versus Tana's going on right now in West, so I don't know who wins this match. If Evil won, I would say that Evil's gonna win the whole thing, but if he didn't, then I don't know. What do you guys think?
I don't know what to think, but you want the last three main events are Naito versus Sonata, Okada versus Tanahashi, and Omega versus Ibushi.
Yeah, Ibushi.
Those are the main events for the last three nights.
Ibushi and Omega will be for the block, I think. I think that's pretty obvious.
Yeah, I'm also going to say Ibushi wins the whole thing.
I can see that very much happening, and then you have whatchamacallit, and then you have the Golden Lovers at Wrestle Kingdom.
Wrestle Kingdom.
Could anybody else see another scenario where somebody else would be a better suited competitor?
I think there's a good chance that Naito could win it all still. but I'm not fully convinced. But that was kind of my gut feeling before this tournament started, that Naito is going to be a surprise winner, and I think I still have that feeling. But who knows? There's a lot
the
of
winners
different
coming out
directions
of
they
Block
could go.
B is what we agreed. The winners coming out of Block B.
I assume. I think it's one of those three. I think Kenny, Kota, and Naito are the three likely winners of it. I think it's very possible that Kenny could win the thing with the title.
What happens then?
He chooses who he faces at Wrestle Kingdom. Then he could probably choose Kota Ibushi.
That's the direction I think they could actually go with this, which would
I just want to see Kota and Kenny wrestle a time limit draw.
How about this? Kenny, because there's this scenario I guess that couldn't really happen. But because they're facing the last night, right?
Yes.
Because there's a way that, like, if Kota lost his next few matches and then beats Kenny, and that's the only loss that Kenny has, but Kenny still wins the G1, and then he challenges Kota saying, "I know I'm better than you." Like that, I think would be really interesting.
But do we want to break up the Golden Lovers?
No, it's not a breakup. Understand that. They're still very much the Golden Lovers, but they're two people who want to be at the very top. And at the end of the day, as singles champion, there can only be one that holds the title. I think that storyline would just be dynamite, and I think they put on a great match in the G1, and then you give them the rematch at Wrestle Kingdom, the main event. That shit would be amazing.
Yeah, I want that to happen.
All right. I guess you can ring the bell. Oh, and let's talk about the women here for a second, because it's being forced down our throats. God damn it, do I hate Stephanie McMahon.
My thing is, what's funny, like, I have no problem with
That's 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was about as long as the old women's matches, wasn't it?
Hey.
The old women's match? You mean like the current women's matches?
Shout out, you can finish your thought.
Okay, well, I was just gonna say, like, I don't really mind there being an all women's pay-per-view, but it's like, don't make it seem like, oh, it's this big historic thing. It's like, no, that's why people don't buy into this, because you're shoving it like it's this historic thing down our throats. No, you should just treat it like it's another pay-per-view. Also, I also find it funny that like Asuka has to act like she's all excited for this, even though she's booked her own shows and fought Minoru Suzuki.
Right. I think it would be funnier if Asuka was still undefeated and the entire pay-per-view was just a gauntlet match with Asuka for the belt.
Oh my god, yes.
There's some good names in the Mae Young Classic.
There's been a few good announcements for the past.
Yeah, Ashley Rain.
Who used to be
Monroe.
Madison? Who used to be Madison Rain in TNA?
Right. Ariel Monroe, the wife of Cedric Alexander.
Yep.
She's gonna be coming up soon.
Priscilla Kelly.
That one was kind of a surprise, but she's actually she's pretty good, yeah.
Referee on Daytime Fighting League. Meiko Satomura.
Caitlin, Rhea Ripley, Io Shirai, Nicole Matthews, Ginny, Casey Catanzaro, Tegan Knox, Deonna Purrazzo, Jessica Elaban, Reina Gonzalez, Mercedes Martinez is back, Mia Yim is in, Killer Kelly, Crystal, Kavita Devi, Zeus, Isla Dawn.
Zeus!
Yep.
The AW, the All Japan Wrestling Pro Champ.
I believe that's how you pronounce it. ZUXIS.
This is the best Mae Young Classic ever.
Issa Dawn, Lacey Lane, Karen Q, Tony Storm, Maiko Satomura. That might sound familiar.
Hell yeah, one of the best Japanese women's wrestlers going in the past few years, and the person who runs Sendai Girls.
Ashley Rain, Priscilla Kelly, Zia Brookside, Hiroyu Matsumoto, Ariel Monroe, and Vanessa Craven. And those are your 24 competitors for the Mae Young Classic.
That's a good ass lineup.
Or that's 27 of the 32, basically.
Damn.
So, are there any through the grapevine unofficially announced weirdo rumor names that you've heard? Because I've heard a couple, and I don't believe them. But
I've heard Trish Stratus.
yep,
No,
no, it's probably a rumor, but that's
literally not a chance in hell. I don't think they would bring back someone. This is not about a turn. This is not a tournament about women who already have names in the WWE. This is them trying to make like 4 or 5 people stars that they then sign to NXT.
I was actually at a Q&A of hers this past weekend, and she seemed to indicate, well, of course, she is going to be a part of the Evolution pay-per-view. Seemed to indicate that there was a fair chance she would wrestle on the show. So.
And of course, the other one, just to get it out there, not saying it's true in any way, shape, or form, but I've heard AJ Lee.
Not happening.
No,
I don't think so either.
No. Okay, so since
I would say it's not impossible, but she has too many other irons in the fire right now, including a TV show. So congrats.
I would say it's completely impossible considering her husband. I'm just saying. Speaking of her husband, by the way, just so that we can get into this, and
dude, he's gonna be in the Mae Young Classic too. We've got Zeus and CM Punk in the Mae Young Classic.
It's just
shit's gonna be crazy,
dude. It's just his fucking it's the fucking Z Pack, actually.
I bet, you know what? I goof, but I bet Zeus and Miko or Maiko, I can't remember what the name I pronounced it, Satomura. But that'd be a hell of a fucking match.
I bet you it would be. But no, Ring of Honor trying to court him. Fucking CM Punk for the April 6th show.
Not happening.
Remember what we said about All In, about how it wouldn't sell out because we would need a big name like CM Punk or something, or Daniel Bryan. Well, gentlemen, you have your big name. This is what you need it for, because if you look at the sales for New Japan, for their shows, basically for the Cow Palace, I'm sure they made money. I'm sure they did a good job of everything else. Blah blah blah.
It was the best show in the U.S. Literally, it was their biggest, highest earning show.
Right.
But
they're going back down to the 5,000 seat arena, which I believe Vassar has tickets for.
And Cow Palace was like maybe half full.
Exactly, 5,000 people ish. So they draw 5,000.
all them robots. Is it just me, or is it he roboting real bad? Oh, there he goes. Wait, nope, that was Vassar. Hello? Guys?
Robots, check.
Oh, we're good.
We're
We're
back.
good.
Yeah, Discord was just shitting the bed for a second, but we're back.
Okay, we're
Right.
Sorry about that.
Well, shit, I
thought it was just my internet. Apparently, it was everyone.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just telling everyone about how much of a big bucket of mass Zeus is, and how he's the best champion of all of Japan.
Now he's gonna fucking win the Mae Young Classic, baby.
Cool.
Lift that trophy over his head like nothing.
So this Zeus, it's not the same one from Hulk Hogan's No Holds Barred.
No.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
It absolutely is. He had gender reassignment surgery and is currently a woman named Zeus.
Oh God, sorry I asked.
Fuck, that's amazing. I was saying while everyone was roboting, Tony Storm is like a shoe-in to win this shit.
I hope
It's
she
just-
does this year. In fact, I'll be perfectly honest. I'll go out there on a limb and say I want Tony Storm and Mercedes Martinez in the final.
Oh, yes, that would be amazing, but it's probably not going to happen.
Okay.
Here's my prediction for it. Tony Storm's going to win it, and then she's going to get the trophy, and she is also going to be crowned NXT UK Women's Champion.
Okay, guys, I just have one more little news bit here. Jeff Jarrett did a Global Force show on 720 in Middleton, New York, at a sold show at a local ballpark. They did blank fans, and I'm going to read through the rest of this, and then you'll guess the number. We'll go down the list. James Storm beating KM from Impact in the main event with a super kick after Jim Duggan stopped a heel manager named Bad Apple McIntosh from interfering.
Jesus.
Think about your number.
Wrestling.
This sounds like some freaking IWA Mid-South bullshit.
Who is KM?
I don't know. Don't care. Not asking questions. We just need the number. Net Jester, how
12.
many people were at the show?
Oh, sorry.
Net Jester, how many people were at the show? God damn it. Net Jester. Omega BR, how many people were at the show? Omega BR.
Well,
It's at a ballpark. Middletown, New York.
Sorry about that. I forgot when I switched to different things on the browser, it doesn't go. I'll say 100.
Omega BR? How many?
a ballpark? Yeah,
Ballpark.
12.
Dog?
Is this Price is Right rule? Price is Right rules?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Let's go with 112.
Shao Kahn, how many people were there?
72.
Vassar, how many people were there?
What did Omega say?
I don't remember.
He said 12.
13.
Yank and DDS, how many people were at this show?
50.
Well, one of you had an exact answer. And it was Netchester with 100.
Wow.
Whoa.
Just 100 people. Oh, that's
I was
sad.
expecting like just a little pitiful like 20, 30 person crowd. But
Jeff Jarrett,
100.
Global Force Wrestling.
They are
100
not a
people.
global force. You need to change your name, dear sir.
Right here,
Yes,
right
he
now.
does. All right, let's get to the ratings, Vassar.
And now it is time for the ratings. Starting off with Impact. It is 299,000 viewers, up from 275,000 the week previous. On to Raw with 2.901 million, up from the 2.779 million the week previous. And finally on to SmackDown with 2.401 million, up from the 2.340 the week previous. And that is it for the ratings.
Birthdays, dog. You got some reading to do.
Just a second. Where did that Global Force Wrestling show take place again?
Middletown, New York. I believe that's on Long Island.
That's not like a small nowhere.
I was gonna say. I want to find out how big the stadium is. I don't think I can find.
I got it. Hold on.
I think it might be a high school stadium.
I was gonna guess the Little League Stadium.
Because if it's like a minor league stadium, that's 4,000 or 5,000 seats. It looks like 12 people.
Middletown Middle Bears is the team that
The
plays there.
Middle Bears.
The Middle Bears.
I hate that name. Anyway. No amount of seats though.
2 seconds. I'm looking for it. Yeah, no amount of seats. I don't see it right now. I'll figure it out. You keep doing the birthdays. I'm
All
gonna
right.
answer for you.
Well, we missed some from last week, so we're going back. Happy birthdays to, on the 26th, Pitbull number 2, Freddie Sweeten, and Tarzan Zimba. Then on the 27th, Matt Osborne, Lexi Pillman, Gordon Hessel, Marv Westenberg, Phyllis Lee Zuver, and Karloff Lagarde. Then on the 28th, Mr. Wrestling, Tim Woods. And also Luke Brown, Jimmy Jackson, Mr. Uganda, Herb Calvert, and Marvin Mercer, as well as Toshio Yamaguchi. Then on the 29th, rest in peace, Captain Lou Elmano. Also Baron Mikhail Sikuna, Mike London, Bobby Whitlock, and Duke George on the 29th. Then on the 30th, El Barrazo, Chandler Biggins, Ben Shalom, and Ann Gunkel. That was disgusting. And then on the 31st, happy birthdays to Alnazi Ignacio Ruiz. Is his nickname El Nazi? What the fuck? Also to Black Panther Jim Mitchell, Edward Ramirez, John Cretoria, and William McClarity. And then on August 1st, happy birthday to the one and only George Hackenschmidt. Also to Tara Humara, to Erica the Red, to Johnny Carlin, to Sam Baldwin, to Cyclone Anaya, to Dick Angelo, to Tony Aguinaldo, and to Everett Rattan. Those were all birthdays yesterday. Happy belated birthdays. And then today, happy birthdays to Angel Blanco, Gorgeous George Jr., Chief Golden Hawk, Norman Westcoat, and Mike Stanko. On the 3rd, happy birthday to two of the all-time greats, two legends of the sports, Haystacks Calhoun, and also to the one and only Carl Gotch. Fuck yeah, that's a two for birthdays. Tomorrow, also having birthdays tomorrow, Steve Verbukovich, Tom Jenkins, Walter Achiu, Mars Bennett, Moondog Splash, Zebra Kid number 2, and Manuel Ramos. Then on the 4th, happy birthdays to Tiger Conway Sr., Jay York, Ellis Bashera, Don Slatton, and Roy Dunn. Then on the 5th, Mildred Burke, George Ryan, Goldie Rogers, J.C. Dykes, and Robert Mumford. Then on the 6th, happy birthday to the one and only Dino Bravo. Also to Aurelian Smith, Herbert Curtis, and Jack Kogut. And then on the 7th, happy birthdays to Lou Plummer, George Kahayunia, and also to Tom Alley. And then on the 8th, happy birthday to Lord Alfred Hayes, Terrace Bulba, Tom Zaharias, Pat O'Shocker, and Al Perry. Those are a whole lot of birthdays.
The picture I just posted, by the way, in the chat is the baseball field in question.
That's a minor league stadium. So we're
like
talking
400 seats, 500 seats. Maybe?
That's probably closer to about 1,000.
Probably, or something like that. Do you want to know the name of the field? It is the Middletown Twin Towers Field.
Oh.
Oh!
That is not a joke. That is in actuality what it is called.
Man, there are so many jokes I can make about GFW and natural disasters, but
Oh yes, man-made disasters. That's more
yeah,
Jim
that's
Sheridan
I was
style.
gonna say.
Well, it comes crashing down and it hurts inside.
Nobody's in the stands and we cannot hide.
Don't. Please don't. We've already done this before. Please no. Not again. And now it is time for This Week in Wrestling with Omega BR.
Yes, this week in wrestling history, circa 1973, where Tim Woods defeats Paul Jones for the NWA Florida Heavyweight title in Tampa, ending the second title reign for Jones. Jump to 1985, where Jim Crockett Promotions ran Jasper, Georgia, headlined by the Midnight Express, Bobby Eaton, and Dennis Condrey, defeating Brett Sawyer and the Italian Stallion. And in 1994, Silver King defeats Black Magic, also known as Norman Smiley, for the CMLL World Heavyweight title in Cuernavaca, Mexico. And that was this weekend in wrestling history.
Happy trails. Oh Jesus. All right, guys. I'm gonna get through this. This is all somber happy trails. Happy trails to Nikolai Volkov, who died at the age of 70. Happy trails to Brickhouse Brown, who died at the age of 57 of cancer. And one of the saddest stories that I've been paying attention to as of late, the heavy trails to Brian Christopher, aka Grandmaster Sexay, who died after hanging himself in prison following a DUI and evading arrest. Several people, including Jerry Lawler and X-Pac, have spoken out about how the incarceration was handled, suggesting that there's more to the story. From what I understand of this particular story, Lawler and his son did not speak. They weren't on speaking terms at that point. But it's always terrible when you have to bury your own kid.
It's kind of a back and forth thing from what I've heard. It's part of the sad part about it is that this time around he was on $40,000 bond, and Jerry Lawler, that is, spoke to several friends who advised him, it would be for the best if he was better in there than outside. Maybe he could help clean himself up this time. Lawler was actually at a convention I was at with several other people, Kane, Rey Mysterio, etc. And of course, he had to rush from there to Tennessee to be with him in his final moments. So, yeah, it's a really terrible thing. Drugs are a really terrible thing when they get that bad.
If you ever feel like that you're in a real bad place and you're not doing well, please feel free to reach out to the suicide hotline, or a friend, or a coworker, or the guy walking his dog down the street. Somebody.
Just that number is 1-800-273-8255.
Thank you.
I'm not ashamed to admit that I've called that hotline on a couple of occasions.
I would rather that you would all contact that number, or hell, I mean, if you find me on Twitter, if you find me on Facebook or something like that, and you need someone to talk to, I'm here. Just let me know what's going on. I'd rather you guys be doing that than the option. All right. So, with that being said, I believe Dog had a button. So, Dog, what's our button this week?
Yeah, I echo all the sentiments of everyone. I agree completely, but we're going to lighten up the mood a little bit with the button. It's not going to be quite as serious.
Okay, good.
It's going to be about WWE Evolution. There's a mystery. Can they have that song as the theme song? Can they just do that? I'd be 100% God's favorite. Okay. Not only do they have that song as the theme song, but it's a fucking incredible card and a great show. Just not just one of the best women's wrestling shows, but one of the best wrestling shows in a very, very long time. It does great. There's plans for the future now to do more women's only shows. It's going really, really well. You press the button, that happens. But none of the booking changes. None of it. It's a one-night thing. They go straight back to the bullshit. Bailey and fucking Sasha are back at anger management counseling. Everyone is treated like a geek except for the tall blondes and Rhonda. It's the same old shit every week, every time, all the time, for good. It's not going to change. What would you do? Would you push the button and get one really, really, really damn good show, top to bottom, with all this great talent, and have the rest of it be shit? Or roll the dice on what we're doing right now, which is damn near guarantee that most everything's going to be shit.
Personally
Gunner,
speaking,
you're first.
I would not press the button, because it's gonna happen anyways. It's gonna be a fantastic show. It's gonna be an amazing show. I believe that what's about to happen here is it's gonna be booked really well. People are gonna love it. There's gonna be like a scissoring sesh in the middle with fucking Stephanie about how great she is for starting the women's revolution.
Ew.
Scissor me timbers, bro.
I thought you meant between
Kill the
Sasha
fuck
and
out of her.
Bailey after Bailey finally admits that she loves Sasha back.
Oh.
Oh, can we have a Bailey chases Sasha the same way that Mickey James chased Trish Stratus storyline?
So we could watch Bailey try to grab negative boob.
If you'll remember, there was at one point where Mickey actually grabbed Trish by the vagina and then licked the fingers.
Yes.
Oh,
That was a classic WrestleMania moment.
is that where Trump got it?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Except for this time, it's gonna be Sasha eating Bailey's booty.
Manchester.
Yeah.
Gross. Getting the tongue way deep. Manchester, would you tongue that button way deep?
I really want a really good show, but things need to change. And if they don't change, then what's the point of having this really good show? No button push.
Okay. Omega BR.
I agree with Gunnar. I think just like the Women's Royal Rumble and the Rousey match at Mania, it's going to be a lot better than expected because it's going to be very, very meticulously planned. There's still going to be botches. There's still going to be lame duck matches. But for the most part, it's not going to be a disaster because they are really, really... And that's what's so annoying is when they really try, they're capable of really good things. But they are going to try really hard with this one. I would not push it because a lot of great women's wrestling out there. I think, WWE is capable of being good with it when they really try to be. One amazing show wouldn't make up for years and years and years of bad things. I mean, hey, TNA's put on its share of good shows and then had pretty awful years. So, no, I would not press it. And here's hoping for the best.
Shao Kana.
I'm pretty much in the same boat as everyone else. Yeah, I wouldn't press it. The show's going to be good regardless, and I don't want to risk having even more shitty booking across the whole company. So it's like, I would still get a good show, and hopefully things get better. So I'm not pressing it.
Okay, I've got a caveat for you, Shao Kahn. Do you press it if it gives Asuka a better booking here on out? Not great booking, not fantastic booking, not I'm going to get the title, just slightly better.
I guess, yeah. I mean, what booking does she have now?
Fair point.
Vassar.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna press the button because I'm actually not that confident that WWE is gonna change anyways. So why the hell not? Press it. Have a hell of a show, and even though the show's probably gonna be good anyways, because things already mentioned, I just want it to be that much better because I'm greedy.
And Mayor Yankum.
I'm not going to push the button, but for a different reason. It's because nihilism, nothing matters. The division is always... Wait, no, this is the same reason as everyone else. Everything sucks. It's always going to suck. There's no point. Didn't someone else already say that?
Yes.
Yes. Which is the main argument against pushing the button.
That's
But
the reason why I'm pushing the button.
Yeah, if everything else is going to suck anyways, I'm telling you right now, I'm slamming that fucking button down. Everything else is probably going to be shitty anyways.
Why would you want to like torture yourself with that though? Because
I
like
don't-
you'd get that
because-
one match and you'd be like, oh, look at what they're capable of. But
Dude, you would get the one show because I think the talent that they have on the roster is capable of putting on like one really fucking amazing 4-hour show. And that's about it. Because everyone is such a fucking nerd. And the idea of getting all of them together and guaranteeing that because I do not have faith in that show being good, guaranteeing that that's just like a classic show with tons of great matches, I would do it.
What should we watch this week in wrestling? Yankum DDS.
Oh, fuck. How about that Mickey James versus Trish Stratus match from WrestleMania? I'd have to look. But you know the one.
22.
Or 22.
Although, if you watch it on the network, you won't get to see the good parts.
Oh,
that's what YouTube is for.
Buy the DVD. Nat Jester, what should we watch this week in wrestling?
Well, I want to think about the evolution of one particular wrestler. Remember a few months back when I said that I thought Nia Jax was getting a little bit better, if no other way than she was just being the super bitch who was the nastiest player in SmackDown at the time and Raw. But of course, she's transitioned to being a babyface. Somebody who's gotten a hell of a lot better at being the bad guy, in my opinion, is none other than the current NXT Women's Champion, Shayna Baszler. And she had a pretty damn good match against Mrs. Johnny Gargano herself, Candice LeRae. Now, this is one I think you should watch. And if for no other reason, the evolution of her becoming more of a great heel, Baszler, in this match.
Shao Kahn, what should we watch this week in wrestling?
Alrighty. I added this match to the playlist in West, but it is Makoto Shuri and Serena Deeb facing Mio Shirai, Io Shirai, and Kana.
Save Us Dog, what should we watch this week in wrestling?
It's not from this week, it's from last week, and there's only one thing you need to watch. There's only one man that you need to literally bow down before. He is a living, breathing, walking God, and he is your eternal, greatest of all time NXT motherfucking champion. The one and only Tommaso Ciampa versus some geek. Doesn't matter.
A literal god.
Doesn't even matter who he's facing. It's just some fucking geek that's going to go to 205 Live in 2 months and be jobbed out. No one is going to give a fuck. And Tommaso Ciampa is going to continue being a god.
Literal god.
Yeah.
So mad if Aleister Black actually goes to 205 now.
And also watch this week's NXT, the main event promo, where you get a fucking phenomenal promo from Tommaso just being a classic shit heel. And then some really good aftermatch stuff that sets up everything for SummerSlam pretty well. So,
Vassar, what should we watch this week in wrestling?
I haven't really been catching up on the G1 as much as I would like, but there was a match last night that I really want to see and will probably catch after this. And that is Okada versus Minoru Suzuki.
That's going on in West right now.
Let's see here. Shell, Vassar, Yankum, and Omega BR.
Yeah.
Week in wrestling.
Well, as I said, I went to a convention this past weekend with several wrestling talents, including the Fantasy Cosplay Wrestling. I believe it's Fantasy Super Cosplay Wrestling is the correct title. They recently went viral when Jeffrey the Giraffe entered a battle royal down in Florida, and he was intercepted by Jeff Bezos and Gangrel, the Vampire Warrior. Watch that clip if you haven't. Also at the convention, they had the Queens of Combat, some of the more up-and-coming female talent that haven't all been scooped up by WWE or Ring of Honor or what have you. Bad Girl, Penelope Ford, of course, Maria Manic, Sinister Sweethearts, etc. I'm not sure that they have matches on YouTube for Queens of Combat, but several of them have Beyond Wrestling matches on YouTube, so go and check those out.
I'm actually gonna go tell you to watch Zelina Vega versus Lana from SmackDown this past week.
Yeah.
Fucking great match. Fucking perfect storytelling. It was a good TV match. I enjoyed it. The two of them working together actually was fantastic, and I wish that they wouldn't be behind the men that they are, so that those two could have a proper feud, because it would be great.
Dude,
it would be really good.
Dude, we were just talking about them fucking up the women's division. They need to put Selena in that division as soon as possible. They need to do it from the beginning.
By the way, spoilers. The best friends are all in.
Well, you know something, brother. There's someone else who's all in, Jack.
Hulk Hogan tried to tease bringing back the NWO today. Oh my God! If you haven't seen the video for that, please go find that and watch that. That's what you should watch.
Literally, nobody wants that.
Yeah.
Can I also suggest one thing? Go back and watch the segments on Raw and SmackDown back in, I think it's like 2001 or 2000. Can't remember which year, but in memoriam, Brian Christopher and Steve Blackman, when they were a tag team, and they were the Odd Couple tag team. That was some of my favorite moments of him in WWE, and some of my favorite moments of Steve Blackman too. I think there's one segment where they're talking about fat chicks. I know there's one where isn't there one where Steve Blackman goes behind a curtain and he's got his kendo stick in his crotch and like Trish is feeling it, and
Yes.
Brian Christopher walks in and like sees it behind in the shadow of the curtain and thinks it's his cock. It's like 10 feet long.
Yes.
See No Evil style or whatever that fucking movie's called.
I would like to where is it? I would like to change my answer actually. Because what you need to actually watch is the time that Randy Savage was on Space Ghost. It was
Ooh.
was
Oh my
Space
God,
Ghost's
yes.
I
grandfather.
remember that. Yes.
Adult Swim in its heyday.
Space
I-
Ghost Dad. Yep.
Not even
I-
Adult Swim, like pre-Adult Swim. This would have been when WCW was still around.
All right, that's it for this week. Thank you all very much for listening. We really appreciate it. You can check us out online, SmarkSnark.com, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, other stuff, Twitch. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe. Please leave a comment if you enjoyed the podcast. Thank you very much for listening. We will catch you guys next week.
And here's my official news. I would like to welcome into this world my second niece, Amelia. She was born at exactly 8:05 a.m. this morning. Unfortunately, the parents had to go into the ER at about 5 o'clock this morning. But baby is doing well, and hopefully within the next few years, she'll be on the NXT roster.
Why not? Everybody else is.
Congrats.
Yes. All right. Thank you all very much for listening.
Good night, Swepsonville.